Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have a blue KAYN vs Shaco matchup. As you can see, the demonic hellspawn box being placed. Nothing really weird about the setups for this one. I know we've had some interesting games and build sets, you know, like the Divine Sunder Echo. Nothing weird about this one. Standard Dark Harvest rune set, a little bit of scaling involved. And what we're focused on in this game is, I guess, the understanding of when you are ahead, when you're not, and that a snowball isn't something that necessarily takes hold like that at the beginning of a game. Sometimes it is a delayed snowball, but you really take hold of these situations when you understand your champion and you understand the matchups. And with KAYN, it's all the more important, especially considering you're expecting Shaq Nicholson to actually have a bit of cheese in ganking. You've got a Yone who's going to scale as well, but you do have a Kassadin. Ironically, D1 without KAYN, even though this is a Master Jungler, Grandmaster Shaco, there's a Challenger ADC, what have you. Nice high elo mixed EU West game. But how do we approach the game when things don't go away? How do we approach the game when we have no tank, which is nothing that's really relevant to higher and more skilled players, but definitely in the mid to low elos as well as low diamond. Not having a tank means you're team fighting, and then the way you approach the game is vastly different. So, and red down into Krugs, you see the Shaco there pinging the red buff, letting his team know, hey, KAYN got a leash, which he did. You see from KAYN's perspective, here we go, nice little face check, or it was trap setting by the set, and the Vayne should hop out of the bush. Here we go. Shaco most likely not gonna get a leash. Pay attention though, either way, you never know in your elos if you're going to have one get a leash. He's probably going to go Raptors into red here, we can see that on our screens. Into a 3-camp top lane, which should be, you should expect this from a Shaco player. What that means from the KAYN's perspective is you are not going to have prio, okay? This is a nice ward here, placed by the KAYN earlier, of course. That's got about 12 seconds left, that's what I actually wanted to check. 12 seconds left, so if you're going to get cheesed, you have no idea. You also don't know for sure where exactly the Shaco is going to pass, so you need to pay close attention to where he shows. I would expect some kind of showing early. So KAYN drags out the Raptors, gets level 3, he's across. The Yone goes in here, which should tell you a lot, alright? I don't see the Shaco from the blue vision perspective, but I know this guy's going into a wave that's coming. Obviously, he has no E at this point, right? So this is a very aggressive move, just to get a good trade, possibly to set up some kind of level 2, level 3 bait, okay? He's trying to trade damage here, even if he takes a little bit in return, to prime the Shaco's gank. And the Shaco here should be able to capitalize a little bit. An early game Kassadin, you must try and abuse it. I don't know why he's hugging up. This is a mistake from a laner perspective, purely because you know the guy most likely started topside. You know, that's the thing with Shaco and Twitches and things like this. It's a little bit of cheese, but you got to be careful about it. I would anticipate him coming from top. There you go. There it is. That's what we're looking for from the Shaco's perspective. Okay, nice gank. There we go. Flash, kill. Who could have predicted such an outcome? Bottom lane also dies, so that's a 2. So from KAYN's perspective now, you're just full clearing. We're not going to have prior mid lane. Shaco's going to have his run of the river control. Bottom lane is already lost. You have Quinn top lane against the Vladimir. Vladimir will eventually become an absolute monster. Chain together the blue and grump. We're looking for efficiency here. Okay, you chain it, you smite it, you get your level 4. Alright? Now you know you can go to top crab. At this point, in high elo, you're not expecting this. You know that the Shaco has definitely gone down to blue, down to that side of the map. Sometimes I like to hit the line just to be sure, because you never know if this guy goes, right, I ganked mid lane, let me make sure I can gank this. And because Quinn's turbo pushing top lane, you could look for some kind of double lane cheese, but you don't really want to fight the KAYN. I like KAYN into Shaco personally. As a 1v1 matchup, I like it. I'm actually going to rewind there because I wanted to talk about it. Knowing the fact that he started on the Raptors into red into Krugs, you can tell this because when he ganks mid lane, right? When he ganks mid lane as KAYN, you're farming. We can click on the Shaco. You will see the red buff in the top left of your screen in game. Will give you the crest of whatever it is. Does he still have it? There you go. It gives you the crest of cinders. We don't have the timer in the replay, but you will have the timer in game. And if someone starts with it, right? If he started with the red buff, this would have expired already. As you can see on the KAYN, it has expired. So the timer will be slightly less further along if he didn't start on the red. So that tells you, okay, hold up. His red timer is younger and less extinguished than mine. Therefore, he started Raptors into red into Krugs. That means because he started Raptors, that will spawn at around 346, boom, on the dot, and you can counter jungle these, tier 2, which is excellent counter jungling, okay? Now, you could flex Greed for the Krugs, but the thing is, because he started Raptors into red, into Krugs, there's a delay on the Krug spawn, and because he ganked mid lane and went down into blue Grump Wolves, most likely, you don't want to hang around too much. So that's great counter jungling. I just wanted to hit those notes on how we tracked it and how we paid attention to it. Here we've got a nice little gank we can have on the mid lane. Yeah, it doesn't go well. So, you know, things are not going to go well here for the KAYN. We die, but we get the orbs. You give a kill to the shotgun, not so good. From a setup perspective, let's have a look here. The one thing we're not really paying attention to while we talk about all these timers and things is where the hell is bottom lane, okay? Now, bottom lane here, they got a kill, and then they reset. So because the reset is different, right? They killed the Jhin. So the Jhin respawns, walks down to lane, the bard holds the wave as best he can, and then goes back afterwards, which means the Jin's gonna arrive into lane before the bard, right? Therefore, there's no need for the set to stick to the Vayne like glue. You could if you want a 2v1. However, it's really great as an Alistar, as a set support, things like this, to now go for a nice roam, specifically onto a Kassadin, right? Get a deep vision, very good, okay. And now you think, right, let's go on the Kassadin. Now, from the KAYN's perspective, do you expect it? I'm thinking about it, but I'm thinking about the Shaco as well. But anytime I see my Kassadin go like this, he's really baiting the gank in to try and get the Yone sucked. And if they are ganking at that point as well, you're just gonna lose. So I feel better about this if bottom lane was showing, you know? If bottom lane is showing, I feel better about it. So not the best gank. I like the idea though. Just try and keep track of bottom lane as well when you're thinking about these things. You have no CC or lockdown, right? Now, because you came from the top angle here and you have 32 CS, 24 for the full cams, 28 crab, 32 raptors, and you die here, the Shaco knows, alright, he took my tier 2 raptor camp. That sucks. I'm gonna take his tier 2 raptor camp now that he's dead. The bard is holding the fort, but he can't really fight that because the set's also here, so forced to disengage, forced to leave wards. He's level 5 already. KAYN's going, So how do we ignite from this really sort of mind game, messy early game? How do we ignite the snowball? How do we get to the point that we're fed and we can actually take over a game? Now, the bard rotates down, obviously. The set's caught out in the river here. W is used. That's a decent cooldown. The Shaco's rotating down from the raptor camp, and the KAYN was going to do Krugs, but as soon as he sees this fight break out, he knows two things. The Shaco's most likely going to float on down to try and capitalize on the position. Two, he should just rotate anyway, because there's a fight to be had, orbs to be won, and a form to be gained. Runs into the Shaco. Scans. Shaco goes through, keeps the scanner up, and that's why I like KAYN into Shaco. Very nicely done. Now, he's going to start the dragon off here. He's got 2 longswords. He can do it. The only problem is mid lane, and bottom lane still fighting. So, I think here in this case, I would love to simply kill the dragon and then go kill bottom lane. I think that's a better play. And you see the ping that came through here from the Shaco, basically saying, look, KAYN could easily just E on through and kill you. So you need to be careful about that. The Yone has reset. But from the KAYN's perspective, you know, maybe he's coming straight down. This is inherently risky. Let's not kid ourselves. Yone shows, so we're lucky. Okay, that's good. What happens, though, if the bottom lane wins the trade? You die. What if Yone says, right, screw that, I'm going straight for the kill? You die. So, think, all right? Weigh the pros and cons of every situation. Understand that here, we're missing a lot of stuff here. The bard went back to base. I'm concerned about the Jhin, to be honest with you. I have a sneaky feeling the Shaco could easily just float down and kill the Jhin. It will be close to 2 minutes since the Grump has spawned, but the Shako... Okay, so I should have paused it while I'm talking about the options. He could cheese the Jhin, alright, and then push the wave, help them reset, which would buy time for Grump and Wolves to respawn, okay? However, the most logical point of view is obviously you're going to have tier 3 Raptors respawn and you're going to have tier 2 Krugs. So in terms of raw experience gain, topside is better, okay? At this point, I would expect him to be topside. However, I would not be surprised to see a little bit of cheese down here, but there's no dragon, okay? There's no dragon. So, as we see, the Shako makes a more logical point, the step here. This is silly. If he's going for Raptor Camp, that's silly. Because that shows that our earlier calculation that, hey, KAYN has 32 CS, he stole the Raptors. Shako won't think about that, which he should have been. They're respawning shortly, and he decides to go straight to mid lane to buy time. And why is this such a good gank? The Cassidy is showing absolutely no respect. And it's a great gank because he's not level 6, which means he has no escape. Quinn. Alright, so we talked about where Shako could be and why. Top side for the experience juice. Wasn't quite tracking the Raptors, obviously. Going straight to mid lane pre-6 Cassidy, good idea. Random roam by the Quinn, don't know what she's doing. She could have just detached without sort of engaging. I know the blind and stuff like that, but as soon as you see this, I think you need to take a more safe back. Just relax, because this crab is gonna be up. But because you die, you give top domain to the Shako. So he is still 5. The KAYN here is 6, however, because he got all of this stuff plus the Krugs. Instead of going down to the bottom side to get his third Raptors is... Wait, hold up. He didn't finish them, right? Counter jungling, ladies and gentlemen. So tier 2 Raptors just sitting eternally, not cleared, which is unfortunate. And the second red, he's going topside. He wants to protect his topside jungle because you don't want to be on a huge experience deficit as KAYN. Sees the box, scanning to make sure he can see him. Top has prio, got to pay attention to that. Crab is up. Bottom lane is currently with Jhin just absolutely shinning. This guy has no... I believe he used everything, right? Yeah, he has used everything. So, Bard rotates. KAYN capitalizes. Beautiful. This is exactly what you should do, by the way. Orbs, baby. Orbs and gold. This is very well done. So the reason for this is as follows, okay? What do we know from KAYN's perspective? The Shako stole our wolves. The Shako is going to go for the crab. The top laner is in the area. Now, most likely, the top laner is going to want to reset, all right? However, okay? Do we want to fight this guy all out, force him to cancel the back, and then rotate down with his ult up? Not really. However, we have a 2v1 in the situation in the mid lane, and our Bard is only level 3. Alright, fine. You have crab, I'm a collapse in the mid lane. Right? This gives me some map control back. And it's good for the Cassidy, right? There you go. Help him out here. Okay? Cut the Shako off. Shako goes into his invisible cloaky mode. Tries to go into the KAYN. You need to get out. There we go. Are the sets E. Now we're still fighting. Clone is dead. And look at this. Overcommitment from the Shako. Complete overcommitment. Nice bait by the KAYN. But the Shako shouldn't have made that play. And now the set's gonna int. Or not. There you go. So yes, 1 for 1 with the Cassidy. Ain't worth it. Could go for top side. But mid is up again. Top is up again. Let's just control our jungle. The Vayne here killed the Jhin. 1v1. While the set and the Bard were mid lane. Bard rotates down and says, what up? Kills her. Absolute fiesta. We like it though. We like it. Okay. Run to the Raptors. Sadness. Holding mid lane would be the shot call here. Okay, good. We can hold that. Ult's up on 34. Bad CSing. Straight down to our red again. Let's make sure we get that. Shako seen on the ward top side, so we get the pings coming through. Good. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. You're looking at the overall gold lead here. We're down 1.5, 1.7 rather. Top lane is a null factor. Mid lane is Kassadin, so the 4 deaths don't matter too much. The 2 kills are kind of useful. Way down in CS. ADC gap is definitely in the favor of the enemy, so relax, right? I think I would look for something bottom lane here. You could look for something bottom lane. My only concern is this following. We saw Shaka do this. So his location currently, not 100% sure. You don't know. I still think you could look for something here. Bard isn't 5 yet though. You could probe. He has 1500 gold to reset, so let's see what he actually does. If he wants to protect his top side of the jungle, alright, Ying and the Wolf of Mobility, if he wants to protect the top side here where Shaco could be, and now we're spoiled with replay vision that he is, alright, and perhaps contest his crab, then you want to reset this. It depends on what you're sort of trying to float by. If the enemy Shaco has all of his blue side up, and there's no objective contest on the top side, I can definitely see trying to make something happen here before the set hits 6. Kind of close, and then counter jungling everything. I would do that 100% if the dragon was up. But because the herald is the objective of note and you know Shaka was pathing up, let's go ahead, secure our camps. Seen by Shaka, which we don't know until there. And now, hello Shaka, you're on the herald. It would be a shame if I was to not get it. Nah, you have no prio. Don't clone it. Kassadin? What are we doing? That's not how you snowball. So, no. None of it, no. I still think maybe even in this case, you do protect your jungle, but this is a kind of play you can make if you have prio. But you got a Quinn versus Vladimir. You got a Yona who's already rotating. The Kassadin is absolutely chilling. He's waiting for level 11, level 16 and such things. If you steal this, great. But, you know, they're just gonna collapse on you. And even this isn't so bad. The attempt is fine. It costs your ult. Don't go back in though. Just don't do it. I mean, you get the kill, but as KAYN, don't go back in. Okay, let me rephrase that. Kassadin, good job, nice kill, you get out because you have ult. KAYN, don't go back in and follow him. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Oh wait, Kassadin, double buffs, here we go. I don't know if this is gonna end well though. Okay. You know, you sit and think, you analyze the situation, and it's like, this should happen or this should not happen, and then nothing like it actually happens. Alright then, cool. Right, either way, as KAYN don't go back in there, Quinn's going bottom lane. They're going for the set. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say other than if you're the KAYN, let him play. Hold the wave. Shaco's topside for some reason. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, why is he topside now? There's a dragon spawning, your whole blue side is up. This bot lane has to reset 100%. Jhin is dead. The Quinn ganked with no mana for no reason. The bot cannot hold by himself. This guy's holding mid lane. You have free domain here to look for objective play. There's no reason to go topside here just to kill, I mean, he's got 150 gold shutdown, just to kill the Kassadin. And the Kassadin's already doing work on the Vladimir here. Should get him. No, he doesn't. Oh, he does. Okay, good. Good. Well played, but I mean, you're losing a dragon. Like, it's great to ping it. Whoever's pinging the MIA ping, but why would you do it? Like, Vayne is up. Yone is up. Why would you begin it? You should have control over it, but only after your bottom lane returns. Oh look, you're dead. Or we're not dead, but we lose a dragon. Or maybe we don't lose a dragon. I'm losing my mind. Either way, you're chunked now, so. Alright. They let it reset completely. Now Shaco can rotate. Let's see what happens. Everything that kind of should have happened, the game flow and so on, just hasn't worked. But the KAYN nonetheless now is able to probably look for something bottom lane here. Here we go. There you go. See, this is what we wanted to look for beforehand. Hits a W. Alright, goes ulting a set by himself. Flashes to get into the tunnel. So that was a bit of... Shaco goes in anyway. Gets a clone. Alright. Yone has prio still, but the Kassadin's getting really big. So the early pressure was nice from the Shaco, but it hasn't really stopped anything. This gives us blue form. Okay. Late form, however, can we translate this into a mid-game domination snowball advantage? Because currently we're still down. However, the effectiveness of the gold lead is minimized by the fact that you're a blue KAYN and the fact that you have a Kassadin who's now going to gank on the Vladimir again. Alright, here we go. So that's good. From KAYN's perspective, you'd like to see it. You have to watch for the mid lane. There's still 4 plates up, 2 minutes left. You either can hold the mid lane to deny Yone getting that plate gold, or we can float on down with our new form, counter gank the Herald push by the Shaco. Condemned, but oh my goodness. We don't have ult. But... So the greed happened, he respawned and killed the Shaco. The Herald was used, didn't get anything, and now he gets the blue buff. So absolute fiesta. Exactly what KAYN wants, because now we can actually try and take over the game. So I apologize for cutting a little bit, as I probably did, because it was an absolute mess. The Kassadin dies to the Yone. Again, as I said, Yone is very difficult to deal with and does scale quite well also. The KAYN, however, is kind of big. With Bard doing his autos and mega meep damage, you're able to clean up the kill. Good. Right? Step 1. Next. Eon over, let's do a little bit of counter jungling. The thing is, now that you're blue KAYN, okay, the fact that the Queen exists is a bit of an issue because I don't know what she's exactly bringing to the party here, but the fact that you're blue KAYN means your mobility is absolutely huge, and you can do these things now. Shaco shows up, gets blinded, hit by the W, dead. Nice auto attack. Make sure you get those auto attacks in. Duskblade is completed, by the way, so the mobility boots plus the Duskblade plus the raw form means you can pretty much kill anyone at this point already. Nice stun by the Bard. Pool ain't gonna save your friend. Auto attack, dead. Beautiful. That's how you begin the delayed snowball. Delayed snowballs are absolutely huge and usually take hold when games are messy like this and you've just sort of managed to creep your way to itemization spikes and level spikes, but they start off by a counter gank, cleanup kill, always very useful, into these pickoffs like down here, into these counter junglings. As soon as they face check, you kill them. You collapse on people that are over pushed. You get huge leads like that. He's level 11 now, right? 101 CS. Yone is gonna go in here, get stunned by the Bard. The W comes through big time. Look at the damage from the Q though. Make sure those auto attacks come through. Huge on the Shadow Assassin. Well done. Great roaming by the Bard. Nice moves by the KAYN. You could go for the Herald, but you have to be careful. Respawning Shaco and such things. Kill your blue side. Still think I'd look for it as a play with my team. Like, he's pinging it, I think. You know, I think we should be looking to make it. Yep, there you go. Kassadin can come now. If anyone rotates, you just kill them, I think. But this is it. This is the delayed snowball. Quinn rotates while Vladimir sits and scales. Kassadin's going top lane. Has no issue with the Vladimir now. Vayne is overcommitted in the mid lane. It's messy. Rotate with the Shadow Assassin. Yeah, Yone's up as well. Here we go. Oh. Now, I mean, remember, they don't see him, right? When he gets the kill there with the Duskblade, they don't see him. And we have Herald. Shaco just does what Shaco does. But ignore him here. You have Herald, you have mid lane. Vladimir's dead from the Kassadin. Could use it. But maybe it's better not to. Dragon respawning. Okay, we should have had 2 dragons 100%, but a little bit overzealous. Clear vision control. He got him. Alright, good job, Jin. Look, look, look. It's disgusting. Stay in him with the E. Very nice. Ghost Blade. Playing off of CC is one of the biggest things that Shadow Assassin must do. As soon as the Quinn gets that kickback, right, you hit the W for giga slow damage. She also gets rooted there, and now, stay within his E. The damage is just, nice combo there. W, Q at the same time. Now we can Herald, and we can use that for Dragon Prime. It's good. And they've taken over the game. The game's done. Like, I don't see a way that they can remotely contest, and you wouldn't have said that at the beginning. Woo! Very smooth. Nice flash. Nice flash. Flash for flash, but we get it, and we get a dragon. Set decides to go in for no particular reason. It's just devolved. It's just, there's no quality gameplay anymore. There wasn't, I suppose, super quality gameplay in the first place, which is why I kind of like this game, because the delayed snowballs and skirmishing really enable the Shadow Assassin playstyle, which is why back in the day, I mean, I don't actually do that kind of smurfing stuff, but when I'm leveling on a new account just to have one personally for new champions and roles and such things, I just loved using the Shadow Assassin, which is why I started making my channel based upon that. Here it gets condemned. You can smite for the elevated R range. The damage just allows you to do that. I just loved using the Shadow Assassin because the games you had like this were so messy, but you always were able to end up doing this in messy games. As long as you knew how to use the KAYN, to use your W's and slows and things like that, to use your R. I mean, you're just put your team in a prime position here. Look at this movement speed, the Moby Boots. You have to flash away from that. I mean, he's just so far ahead of everyone. It's not like he played perfectly, he definitely made those mistakes, but you can see what you're able to do when you're super fed. And the Kassadin, you know, I didn't really flame him, I was just like, maybe you don't want to go in there, but he had managed to get out on that Herald fight, and the KAYN just should have given it up, but it is what it is. Let's see what else happens that's interesting. Okay, so as you can see, the big shift definitely took place in this phase, right here, as I told you. Here. So the dragon was unfortunate, and this grief was unfortunate, but because this guy greeted it in turn, and the KAYN got the shutdown, and then killed over here, and then sequenced up and killed them, it gave them all the map control they needed in order to totally take over. Now, in terms of actually closing this game out, a lot of you will say, oh, I get to this point, and then we lose. So why do you lose? That's the ultimate question. All right, reset. Now we have Edge of Night completed as well. You lose because this happens, right? Right? It's always the ADC being caught out, right? 100%, okay. So, let him play, no problem. Enemy team is demoralized, right. We can make a pick. We can kill the Vayne, we can kill the Vladimir. I don't want to shadow this unless you have your Jhin with you. There's no point. This is just inherently risky 1v5ing. Let's give the blue to the Kassadin. If Vayne overcommits, we kill her, okay? Or, we look to make any sort of pick where someone is separated from their team. Yone? What are you doing, Yone? Hello? Make the pick. Look to collapse. Take over their jungle. E flank. Kassadin dies because he went to 2v1. You see, this is what I'm saying. He goes to 2v1 and dies. If you try and do the same thing here, you die. That's not what you're looking to do. At all. Right? Probe. Oh, Shaco's gone back to base. Aha, he faked us out. Set should be in the area. Hi, Set. Oh, ADC. That's why, you know, this little interaction, I know this is a bit slower at the end, we're just sort of marveling at how fed he is, but come on, let's have some fun. We usually very serious in every closing of the endgame. Sometimes you gotta enjoy the fact that your champion is a champion, and their champion is also a champion, but they don't do anything to you. Condemned, but elevated R range. Boom, beautiful. That's it. This is it. Try and gain control through the picks, through jungle probing, all right? Very easy. Here as well, you've got a tower you need to take. Now, this is what we're afraid of. See, look at this. 3v1, you can easily go in here, right? But you most likely die. So let it happen. Watch and see if you can pick up or clean off. Jin's rotating, okay? But be careful. You don't have R to follow, that's unfortunate. But he almost got him. He was just waiting for the E. I know he was waiting for the E, but don't necessarily go in just ham-fisted. Wait a little bit. TP in from the Vlad. You want to be very careful here. There you go. Wait until your team catches up. Quinn's splitting on the bottom lane, so. Kassadin says, I'm Kassadin, so. That set ult was kind of cute. Now we can try something. There we go. Okay. See, by the time, wait for your team. Careful, though. Nice in and out team fighting. W for the slow disengage. Okay, I think now we're pushing it. Quinn's splitting on the bottom lane. Did she kill? No. No, she did. Good job, Quinn. Right. Closing out. Messy, 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 but don't overcommit. Lesson learned. Right, dragon. What do we need to do before dragons if we're an assassin? Make the pick that allows us to secure it without relying on our teammates having to team fight, because we don't have the team fight scaling that they do. Alright? You have the Kassadin and the KAYN. You gotta make picks beforehand. Shaco's out of the game because he doesn't exist. Again, as soon as the Yone shows, disconnect. Shaco's on the scanner here for some strange reason. Ult him. Kill him. Nice, nice bard though. Like the bard. Nice ult there to disengage. I don't think there's much value other than stat checking. Kassadin is still dying though. As I said, you have to make sure you're the one not dying. That's I think the big takeaway here. Even if your team are fed and do damage and looks like a free win, just make sure you're not the one dying. That's the most important thing, right? And when it does come down to it, at the end of the game as a final play note, you know, he's gone for the Surreal's Grudge from Magic. Armor penetration. My brain just went to magic penetration. Yes, Sork boot enthusiast, blue KAYN mains. I see you. Yeah. Great. Interactive. I don't think there's much. You know, the last 10 minutes of gameplay hasn't been super interactive, just to show you how to use the messiness. Hopefully you see that early game phase is very important in terms of how you track and path. I still think there were plays we could make bottom lane. There could have been better objective ping pong for sure. Don't int certain situations like around the Herald or in that Tribush. There's no real need for any of that whatsoever. But as you saw, around the 12 minutes, even with a delayed form, here we go, a little bit of split pushing. Okay, that's nice. They have multiple dead. They can handle this by themselves. You've got a once free one here, and you can easily satisfy that as KAYN as well, so keep that in mind. Even with the delayed form, we're still able to essentially just make the one pick into another pick, into an invade, into two more picks, and that snowball just becomes so difficult to contain. Ah, the classic. Yes, classic. Get inhibs, someone dies. Very exciting. Reset though. I think I would probably sol with this team. I would probably sol before I go fighting. Kind of useful. Oh, Vayne doesn't care, but I mean, it gets a lot closer, you know. Like you're messing a little bit with fate here, but think it's too much of an issue. There you go. All right, that should be the game, right? Yeah. So mid-game snowballing for you, delayed snowball, even when you're behind and have rougher matchups. Here, I think you just go top and win. I don't think there's any need to fall back. There's no need to fall back to Raptors. You just go in the game. Yeah, there you go. Moby boots E. So yeah, there you have it. Bit of a messy game again, but as I said, I always like to cover messy games in coaching and on my main channel. We always have these perfect games, and sometimes even with the Olaf one on this channel, absolute, you know, like domination, perfection, everything's done right. Those aren't always exciting. It's nice to look at things that where I suggest where I think they could go and then no one does, because it shows you that not everyone does what they're meant to, and how you play around that is fundamental to how you carry in solo queue. So Hopefully you enjoyed that nice casual 20 kill Blue Kayn game. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe, like, comment, and so on if you enjoy this channel at the moment and how it is. And as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.